Hey guys, it's me, my face, and a somewhat more rational hair color. White Girl Dance brought to you by coffee, because coffee. If you're new here, my name is Andrea, and this is a channel about cross-stitch and cats and mental health and coffee and beer, and sometimes I talk about scrapbooking, although I don't do it very often. Did I say cats? Cats too. If you're a returning visitor, welcome back. As you can see, I've been doing a little decorating. I took flowers off of a thing and put them on another thing. That's known as decor, apparently. I am trying to get myself in a fall mood. Not that I really need to try. I'm in a fall mood in May. But I have been kind of decorating a little and thinking about Halloween, and I'm going to sneeze. I'll edit that out. Last night I started listening to a lot of Lorena McKennett. That'll put you in a spooky mood no matter who you are. And I'm trying to figure out what Halloween's going to look like this year because the COVID. It's been kind of a bad week, but, per usual, I did a lot more stitching than I thought I had done, so I actually have some stuff to show you. Let's jump in. The first thing I worked on is Knock Knock. This is from Prairie Schooler. It is being done on coffee tea dyed. It used to be 28 count even weave. Now it is uneven something or other. But I made some good progress. I like this. I like how that's coming out. I'm sorry, it's no fun if it's not 1/1. It's just not. It comes out so little and so tight, and so it's almost like a drawing more than it's thread, which I love. I have this one, and we went through this last week. Bubble bubble? Trouble? Something? Then I have, because I always need to have a Prairie Schooler going, I have decided this. After I finish these, I have Prairie Schooler October. Put a thing up there. And I think that needs to be stitched. And I think it needs to be started in October. We'll see how that works out. The next thing that I worked on is the Roladex Mourning sampler. This is from Bendy Stitchy Designs. And it's being done on 16 count Wren. Picture this plus. And I'm attached to another project here. I made some reasonable progress on the gate. I'm one of those stitchers that look for a path or like a pattern so that I can kind of get into a rhythm of stitching a certain thing over and over and over again. I can move a little quickly. I can't get a rhythm going on this gate, only because, there's so much curve to it and not every row is the same. So it's a little slow going for me, but once it's done, it's gonna look amazing. So maybe goal this week. No, I have a different goal this week. So no goal this week for this. For something else. The next thing that I worked on is Bringing Home the Tree. This is by Lori Holt. I'm doing it on 20 count white Aida. I think it's white or off-white. It really doesn't make a bit of difference. I'm not keeping it. I keep saying that like I hate this thing. I don't. It's just not my gig. There's so much pink. There's so much red. But I made a buttload of progress on this last night. I literally just sat down, I think at 6 and didn't stop until 10:30, 11, something like that. I just went. And it is an easy stitch in that, like, I mean, this is all that blue for the windows is just fill-in. So it's not like it's technically difficult. It's just tedious. And I kept trying to find things that I could watch or listen to while I did it, because for this I put it on my, you know what it's called, the floor stand. So I'm not facing my monitor. So I try to have something on that I can listen to. And I spent more time looking for things to listen to than I did actually listening to anything. But I got it worked out and I made some progress. I need this done. I would like to have this done and framed by the end of November so that I can give it as an early Christmas gift and they can hang it up and enjoy it. We'll see how that works out. I say that a lot. The last thing that I worked on is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. This is from Carriage House Samplings. And I am doing this on, I forget. But it was on the slide, so, you know, it's fine. I did a lot more than this, but you can't see it. You know why? Because I picked it out. Because see this really like dark orange here? Your girl thought that that was going to be part of the actual cauldron, so assumed that it was black. It was not. It was very orange. So after I stitched all that in, I had a little hissy fit. I took a break. I came back, I picked it out, and then I worked for the rest of the night on just getting the orange back in there. And then I started a little more. I got a little brown, but I did not make a lot of progress because the progress I made, I had to undo. Story of my life. I can't even say that I have a finish goal for this. I mean, I could say I would like this done before next Halloween. I can wish in one hand, but you know what happens in the other. So that's all the stitching I accomplished this week, which was really surprising to me because I think Friday night, I had convinced myself that I hadn't stitched at all. I couldn't remember having stitched on anything. All I remembered was every night saying, you don't have to stitch every night. Don't stitch tonight. Just do what you're going to do. Mostly sleep. I felt like I did that every night, but apparently I did not. Apparently I actually did sit down and do some things. I just don't have a clear recollection of them. Which, trust me, is a little scary. I even had to go back and take a last week picture of this because I forgot I worked on it until I was in the previous images folder and said, oh, I did something on that. I know I did. I thought that was last week. It's a little foggy. It's a little foggy. I do not have any haul this week, but hopefully next week I will have something amazing or some amazings things to show you. I have indulged a little reward for myself. I went to the Fabric Flare website and I poked around and I kept thinking, God, I wish I could just see these. I wish I could interact with them. I wish. To heck with it. Buy them. What's the worst that's going to happen? If you don't like them, I can use them as giveaways. If I don't like them, I could dunk them in coffee and tea dye and see if I can just make it something I want. You know, if I have trouble stitching on them, stop. Because hand-dyed fabric is just so expensive, and it's not that it's over expensive. It's generally worth what you're paying for. It's just very expensive, especially when you need large pieces, like if at some point you plan on starting CD Pumpkin Cottage. So I thought I would indulge in several pieces of Fabric Flare and see how I like them. So hopefully they should be here for my next video. I even went easy on myself and got the 18 count Aida because even their linen is pretty, it was pretty high. I mean, again, not like overcharging, just more than I was going to spend yesterday. So we'll see what that's like when it gets here. Last week we did a giveaway for the Suffrage Act. And while I have this in my head, I encourage everybody to go over and watch Arlene Cohen's recent video. She talks a lot about the Suffrage Act and recommends some PBS specials and some books. And, you know, she's just always wonderful to listen to. And she's so smart. And she's so, I for some reason want to say trustworthy. Like when she tells me, you know, this is a really good book to read, I trust her that it's not fluff or marketing. It's you know, that she found value in what she was reading. So I encourage you to go visit her. Her video will be linked below, but it will also be in my shout out at the end. Does everybody forget that I have shout outs at the end? I linked to a video that I think is interesting or fun or something. And you know, you might like it too. But anyway, last week we were giving away Suffrage Act. And right now you should be seeing the video of my picking the winner. There were 18 entries on the spreadsheet. The first row is the title column, so it ran from 2 to 19. I had the random number generator pick a number between those two numbers, and it came up with, if I remember correctly, 11. And that belongs to, is it Rachel or Rochelle McIntosh? Apologies if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I believe I already have your address, so this is going in the mail as soon as I can get to the post office this week, and it will be speeding on its way to you. As usual, once this goes in the mail, I delete the spreadsheet that has all the information on it, so I don't hold on to your email addresses or your regular addresses or anything like that. I already have it in an envelope, ready to go. I just need to address it. Thank you, Amazon, for giving us envelopes that we can reuse once in a while. It comes in handy. So that's about it for the stitching related stuff. I mentioned that this was kind of a difficult week. I'm sleeping all the time. Just pretty much all the time, which was why I was shocked that I got as much stitching done as I did, because I feel like I work, I log out, I lay down, I sleep. I get up in the morning, rinse, repeat, wipe hands on curtains. I think I mentioned also, like a couple weeks ago, or in the last video, that I had had a very intense therapy session, and it kind of stuck with me. And interestingly enough, I had an equally intense therapy session on Friday with my hairdresser, because your hairdresser has got your back. And my person she's an artist. Janie is an artist and a scientist. And a little bit magician. But I think just a lot of things are roaming around in the back of my head. And sometimes they make it to the front of my head. And I think that's when my body says, this is too much. Let's have a little lay down. And that's when I sleep for, 9 hours at a time. That's when I log out of work and lay down, and then at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, I'm up and I say, well, I want coffee now. I want to watch some videos now. I want to stitch now. And I think that's probably when I was doing the stitching, was like after a sleep. So I wasn't like putting it in the right context. I don't know. Guys, it's chaos in here. It's chaos in here all the time now. It's like a little rave. There are people in there. They've got glow sticks. This is jumping up and down. There's a lot of that. But with none of the fun drugs. None of the fun drugs. Don't do drugs, kids. Drugs are bad. So, yeah, I don't even know what to say about it. It is what it is. This is what I've got going on right now. And I'm just thankful every week that I can sit down and make a video and say to people, I've got a thing going on, and people respond with, comments that I promise I read. I know. I haven't even been clicking the hearts. I know. Ahead. I talked about plans. This is my plan for today, is to get through all the comments, to acknowledge, to respond. That's my little challenge for today. But that interaction and, the emails or the, I get Google Hangouts. I love it when that thing pops up. That interaction really makes a difference. And it is as much part of my therapy as anything that I do in a session or any of the medication that I take. It's as important, and it actually, I feel like is maybe more important because, eventually you like to think that the therapy will end. And eventually you like to think that either you don't need the medication or you get to a point where it's just your daily routine. But the community is what's going to be ongoing. The community, I hope, will always be in my life, and that I will always be able to be a part of it. As much as I am able to let myself be a part of it. I know this is all confusing and this is me just rambling, but I just kind of wanted to talk about it. And breathe. So hopefully this coming week is going to be better. It's the only thing that you can really hope for, is that whatever's bad right now can get better. My Stitchy plan for the week. I actually do have a Stitchy plan, which is weird. It's very unlike me. I want to put at least one more night into bringing home the tree so that I can feel like I am getting, some progress done on that. But in going through my, previous images, I realized that I do have several whips that I have not touched in quite some time. So I think this week is going to be the week of, Crow's Lullaby? Remember that? How about the Linen and Threads free stitch along thing? I think I'm about 6 months behind. Could put a little into that. I haven't worked on Moon Hair in a while. I think there's even a couple of others up there that I just forgot I was working on. So I'm going to try to have something new and interesting for you to see next week. That's about it for me. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your likes and even your dislikes. And thank you, as always, for your comments. I appreciate every single one of them. Bye, guys.